Hi, and welcome to this week's solo podcast episode of the Guest List podcast with me, your host, Steve Guest. I thought I would share a topic of conversation that we've had today, and it's on two parts, really. The first element is, as some of you will know, I offer a 12-week online virtual recruitment training program. That has gone through various launches, had lots of successes, and it's doing really well. And as part of that program, we offer a live Zoom session currently every 2 weeks. And it offers the ability for recruiters and members to come into a live room where we get to discuss the problems, the issues, the hurdles, the questions, the scenarios that we as recruiters and salespeople may be facing at any one time. And it's a collaborative discussion. And today's subject was all about candidate-led marketing and how to approach candidates and get them to be willing to speak to you or listen to the opportunities that you're currently working on to hopefully incentivize and motivate them to look for a move. And it got me thinking in terms of how we run the process. And we covered a number of areas that are part of the training program. But I thought as a sales tool, it might be quite good to actually showcase one of the discussions from the Zoom session, which actually just finished about 15, 20 minutes ago. The main kind of focus of any sales marketing, for me anyway, is to understand how the party or the audience that you're selling to benefit from either the product or service or dealing with you as an individual. So I got people thinking within the group today about what benefit is there for the candidate or the person you're speaking to of working with you as an individual. If you sat there or listening to this and you're thinking, I've never actually thought about this, or I've never put forward how someone else benefits from dealing with me, or I don't really understand how they do benefit, then it's something you need to spend some time thinking about. If you think in terms of what does a candidate benefit from, how do they benefit from working with you? What's the benefit to them of being exclusive with you? What's the benefit of them listening to what you have to say, or what your sales pitch is, what the product or service is that you're trying to deliver? What's the benefit to them, the candidate, of responding to you, whatever shape or form that looks like? Have you ever sat there and really understood or considered this? Or have you simply thought they are an answer to the problem that you may have, or the solution to what your candidate or client is looking for? Ultimately, we're here to facilitate a service to find a happy solution between client and candidate as a recruiter. So we have to understand how and why we benefit either the client or candidate or both in terms of the recruitment process. So what do you bring to the party? Is it the fact that you've got endless years of market knowledge or market experience or recruitment experience in terms of managing the process, understanding the needs and wants of the parties involved? Is it the opportunity? Do you have an amazing opportunity that you can promote? But what is the benefit of that opportunity to the person you're talking to? Do you offer a service that is over and above the competition? What do you offer that benefits the parties in question more so than dealing with any of your competitors? Are you the type of person that sits there and listens? Do you listen enough to understand what the pain points are from your audience? Do you understand what moves or motivates them to be able to offer a solution? This was the conversation we were having. So the prime crux of understanding the benefit to candidate or client in terms of the process you offer is to fully understand the problem or the pain points for you to be able to offer the solution. The moment you understand the problems and the pain points, the moment you understand how you can benefit them with the solution that you can offer, What are the reasons for looking? What are their motivational reasons for finding a new position or looking to hire that new person? Is it relatable? Are you relatable to them? Is it the fact that you're on their side and you're trying to find them the best role for them? Or are you just trying to fill a position that you need to tick on a whiteboard? Going over and above the expectation and actually being part of the process to ensure all parties benefit is without shadow of a doubt the best recruiters on the planet. The ability to understand the pain points, offer the solution, and use those sort of persuasive techniques to ensure both parties get the answers they're looking for actually helps you be a better consultant, deliver a better service, which is over and above the competition. When we go out there to market the services that we do, if we primarily focused on marketing opportunities to candidates, you have all manner of areas that you can utilize to your advantage. And this isn't an exhaustive list, but you've got things like business development, cold calls, various types of calls, mailers, social media posts, adverts, headhuntings, referrals, group networkings, external network groups, group forums across the internet and social media, golf days or event days. You've got the ability to e-market. All of these have ways in which you can promote what you do. But ultimately, nobody genuinely likes being sold to. Nobody enjoys being pushed into a corner because you found the perfect thing for them, even though you haven't asked what the perfect thing to them is. You've assumed you already know the answer. The problem with these sorts of things is that you are pushing a solution that you're looking for, not necessarily what they're after. The ability to put posts out that market what you do, the types of roles or service you provide, allows for people to come to you fully expecting or knowing what they're wanting to speak to you for. That's a better form of marketing. But I am a firm believer that phone calls, conversations, face-to-face will always outposition any of the other ways of working, because you have the ability to navigate conversations and control them better. You have the ability to create a better understanding and build your knowledge of what the ultimate solution is for whatever the problem may be. So having general hooks, having adverts, having those kind of taster social media posts that give or showcase what you do, what you're looking for the ability to someone to come to speak to you. They all need to be pointing towards a phone call or a conversation in which you can build that understanding and you can learn and understand how you then benefit the parties involved. One of the biggest lessons that I ever had, and I think we've touched on this on podcasts before, is the ability to ask better questions. Certainly focused upon open questions, the what, where, why, when, how type questions, and get the other parties speaking. From a sales perspective, allows you to understand whether they are receptive to the product or service that you offer, and the ability to navigate that to find a solution that fits all parties. If you don't challenge, if you don't ask those sorts of questions, if you don't get or gain the information, trust and likability and relatability from your audience, I think it will always fall down. The process will always fall down. And I think the overriding thought process or question for any salesperson really is, how do you become that salesperson, that individual that everyone talks about, everyone thinks about? You are the most referred to person. You become the most recognized for what you do. And I think the answer to that is the ability to fully understand how you benefit the parties involved, how you can be over and above the competition, how you can have that relatability, that approachability, and have a knack of putting individuals together or individuals and products together that provide the solution to their problems or the pain points. And ultimately, it's I suppose, this understanding and this ability to benefit, as opposed to thinking what you gain from it, or believing that you know what someone is looking for, or the ideal person for that role. Because quite often we're wrong in our assumptions, and people have different ways of thinking to our own. So when we try and promote one way of working, or cold calls are best, social media marketing is best, cold calls are dead, this way is the best way, this way is the best way, and we see this constantly in terms of polls and posts on social media. Actually, there isn't a right or wrong way, because it's however our audience chooses to participate or react with us, and we don't necessarily get to choose how that is. So the ability to make sure we turn up in different forms of marketing, in different forms of sale, I think the better. But ultimately, to get that then to end up in a phone conversation, either via Zoom or face-to-face or over the phone, allows us then the ability to challenge and ask those great questions, those open questions that allow us to make decisions based on the conversations and questions and answers that we receive. So I hope this podcast's been useful. I'd be interested to know what your thoughts are. As I say, we have these conversations every couple of weeks, and they often throw up really good, insightful debates and conversations. And as I say, I'm a firm believer that dealing with people is fascinating, and the psychological elements involved, I think, only ever get bigger. And if we don't fully understand them, generally we will fall short in terms of the process. If we're trying to second guess things, we generally will get them wrong more than we'll get them right. But it's a fantastic journey, and it's great to have that awareness and that self-awareness of how we approach things and how people like to be approached around us. The understanding of what we do and how we facilitate it to benefit other parties actually shows greater value than trying to get a sale or a number of figures on the board. And ultimately, it means we deliver a better service, which is, for us recruitment consultants, is surely what we're looking to do. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Always looking for feedback. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, comment, like, share, do everything that we always want you to do. And the same with the podcasts. I'm always happy to receive feedback. I'm always interested to see if you have any guests or people that you feel will be a good addition to the guest list. Please make contact. Drop me a little note. Let me know what you think of the episode so far. And I look forward to sharing other parts of the journey and other guests with you over the coming weeks. Take care.